Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and here's a brand new headline from the Daily Hodl. XRP has nearly tripled in value despite SEC lawsuit due to new phenomenon. That's a quote, new phenomenon, says Galaxy Digital CEO. So they're referencing billionaire Michael Novogratz, stating again that XRP is rising and that ultimately XRP holders are resilient. Well, it is true XRP has been rising, and it's true that XRP holders are quite resilient, but there's a little bit more to this to discuss here. Mike Novogratz, and nothing against him personally, to be clear, I always enjoy hearing his takes on things. He happens to not be a fan of XRP. And I think it's for a couple silly reasons, but that's just my own personal opinion. But you know me, I don't decide that somebody is my enemy, and I don't decide I don't like somebody because they have a different take on a topic than me. So that's not where I'm coming from here. But I do want to highlight this because although some of this sounds good, I'm kind of sitting here thinking, okay, but what do you really think? Because outside of this, which sounds great on the surface, admittedly. He doesn't seem to think that there's something to the long-term viability of XRP. And so in a way, I read it in such a way, maybe it's just me taking it like this, but I was just like, it's almost like it's a slam in which it's just, there happens to be a community that likes XRP, but we shouldn't really like XRP, and there aren't any good reasons for it to really be here. That's what it kind of feels like, and I'll defend my case based on things that Michael Novogratz has said in the past. It's not only how I'm potentially just taking this. There's a little bit more meat to it than that. So plenty to talk through here. I've got also a comment on this from attorney John Deaton and a couple XRP community members as well. But before going any further, I do want to be clear that I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. So before getting into this brand new piece, I got to set the table properly by making sure you understand what Michael Novogratz's take is on Ripple and XRP, because frankly, it's not good. Here's a headline from May 1st of this year from Markets Insider titled, "Billionaire Mike Novogratz compares XRP fans to Trump supporters, warns against buying Dogecoin, and calls Bitcoin insurance in a new interview." Here are the 10 best quotes. I'm just going to cover a couple that have to do with XRP, and I'm not going to get political in this at all. I'm just covering what he has stated. I'm going to let that speak for itself. I am not getting into anything political. It is not the purpose of this YouTube channel. The only time I say anything about anything relating to politics is if it directly has something to do with crypto policy or this or that, but that's about it. When it comes to this, though, I'll just let his quote speak for itself so you can get an idea of how he feels about you as an XRP holder. And here you go. Here are 10 quotes from Novogratz. Just the first two are what I want to cover, though. Here it is. This is a quote. "Over the years, the XRP army has built up a real community of people that really want to believe it. It reminds me a little bit of Trump supporters. They'll believe you stole the election. You could tell them anything. It's like 9/11 conspiracy theories. There's a little bit of that in crypto. They just don't look at the truth sometimes." And so that's what he said on why XRP had been on a tear in terms of price at that point in time. Because XRP did get up to about $2 as of April this year before, retracing back on down here. And so there you go. He recognizes, even back then, he said there's a real community here, but, we're not grounded in reality. None of this actually makes sense. And that, I feel like I'm being spoken down to a little bit. I realize if I haven't done my research and I don't understand the utility of XRP for various use cases, including the most well-known one, XRP as a bridge currency, as if I don't get any of that. And I don't understand the nature of centralized and decentralized cryptocurrencies and distributed ledger technology. I haven't done my research. I don't get it. And you listening to this, you're an XRP holder, I'm assuming, right? So you haven't done your work either, right? I don't understand how we could think that there's this large of a community that is actually that clueless. What I find, and it's been my real world experience over the last several years, is that people have gravitated towards XRP because unlike Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, it actually offers utility and does something, and we happen to find that freaking attractive. And so don't tell me that we don't know what the hell we're doing and that we're just living in some sort of fantasy land here. As long as XRP continues to be useful to humans, then I'm going to think it has long-term viability. And there's no way to know exactly how all this is going to turn out, which is why I continue to monitoring the situation of XRP in the crypto sphere in general as time passes. But wow, what a weird take, right? One of the only cryptocurrencies that's used for anything, and XRP used in enterprise-grade software today, one of the only cryptocurrencies out of about 12,000 in existence, and he thinks we're in Looney Tunes land, effectively. Now, he didn't call it that, but still, that's effectively what he thinks, right? Because it doesn't make sense here. Here's the next quote from him. I've never liked the XRP token because you've got one group that owns so much of it, let alone you've got the SEC breathing down the necks of the CEO, the founder, and the company. So consider this. I don't have a problem with Ripple's holdings. I've known that that's the state of things since 2017 when I jumped in and first purchased XRP. It doesn't bother me one bit. I like that there's a company that is a cheerleader for XRP, which is a decentralized cryptocurrency. I love that. It's fantastic. Why would I mind that in the least? And if you have a problem with Ripple holding it, like, what about the holdings of the Ethereum Foundation? Or like, at least Ripple's transparent about how much they actually hold here. And it was just gifted to them anyway. But another reason that I'm not concerned about it is if they stop acting in the interest of XRP holders, I'm telling you, by the nature of the decentralized nature of the XRP ledger, like Ripple's XRP holdings can be burnt. That is absolutely a thing that can happen. I've talked about this before. I'm not going to go in depth on it in this video, but it absolutely can. So if they stop operating in good faith and they're trying to tank XRP markets or this or that, people don't like the way they're participating, things can happen. That is the nature of a decentralized system. It's just how it works. And so, no, I don't have any fears about them holding what they hold. If they stop operating in good faith, and first of all, it would be illogical anyway. It's like you'd have to assume they're going to do something that harms themselves, right? Like, given that they're the largest holder of XRP, why would they do something that's going to bring down the price of their holding? Because if they tried to dump everything, even if it weren't in escrow, and they just tried to do that, the price would quickly tank, and they couldn't sell it all at today's price before that happens. Like it's a bunch of just weird takes on this. And then there's this headline. This is from CoinDesk from February 5th of 2020, actually, so the beginning of last year. Galaxy's Novogratz XRP will underperform immensely again this year. And so this was another bad take. He doesn't like XRP, and it's super duper clear. XRP from the bottom to the top in 2020, which was 11 cents up to almost 80 cents, it had about a 7-fold increase. And so if you look at Bitcoin from its lowest price point, which was somewhere in the neighborhood of like $4,000 in March of 2020, it also had about a 7-fold increase. Now, XRP ended up getting attacked by the SEC when they sued Ripple. They also effectively challenged XRP holders and are damaging XRP itself with their claims. And so XRP did tank, so we don't know where it would have ended for 2020. But before that, yeah, it was up at a point 7-fold. And so that was another bad take from Mike Novogratz. He just doesn't like XRP. That's very clear here. Which leads us to his most recent comments here. And this is from the Daily Hodl article now. A new phenomenon is helping XRP's price thrive despite the ongoing U.S. Securities and Exchange lawsuit against Ripple, according to Galaxy Digital CEO Mike Novogratz. On December 22nd, 2020, the SEC officially filed a lawsuit against Ripple Labs, alleging that XRP was an unregistered security upon its launch and remains a security to this day. Since the filing of the complaint, XRP has surged over 172%, from 40 cents to $1.09 at the time of writing. The head of the digital asset management firm tells his 379,000 Twitter followers that the assets price action is a testament to the value of the XRP community. And so here's the actual quote. Which, by the way, I'll mention this too. It came from, he actually retweeted John Deaton here, who was sharing Charles Gasparino's article from the New York Post, which I covered in a previous video. Charles Gasparino, of course, is the journalist at Fox Business Network that has been all over this case. Hopefully you're familiar with him at this point in time. And so again, here's John Deaton just saying excellent job. And then that tweet from John Deaton stating excellent job, that is what Mike Novogratz retweeted, and he wrote the following. Here we go. The value of XRP has actually almost tripled since the SEC actions. It hasn't plummeted. It's a testament to the fact that once communities are formed with shared interests, they are damn resilient. So there's a number of things to say about this. First of all, before he even tweeted this out, it may have been 2 or 3 or 4 days before this, I saw a video clip, and I'm not sure where I found it, and so I wasn't able to find it again before recording this video, but I remember what he said. And he was talking about cryptocurrency in general and how there are communities around all sorts of different cryptocurrencies, and that is impacting the resiliency and price of all sorts of cryptocurrencies. So whether he wasn't talking about XRP specifically, but whether you're talking about Doge or Ethereum or Bitcoin, whatever it is, the people surrounding that, the communities, are what are causing these cryptocurrencies to have some sort of staying power. And he said it's a new phenomenon, and maybe that's something that we need to factor in when we're trying to figure out which cryptocurrencies are going to be around for the long haul. And it's an interesting topic for discussion. I've only pondered it a little bit, and the best I could say is maybe there's something to that, but I'm very skeptical, to be honest with you, because I do think, yes, fine, so there's communities around all this, but where's the real money ultimately going to flow? Like, because I'm telling you, like, the institutional money, and that'll ultimately be a big piece of what determines where money goes in the world of crypto investment wise. I don't think that the big money is going to give a damn about a resilient community. I don't think, and so if the money ultimately flows somewhere, these communities which seem resilient now, they may not be resilient in the future. So I'm not so sure that this is something that's going to matter in the long run. I could be wrong. Maybe there's something new about crypto where this actually ends up being a thing. But all I'm saying right now is that I'm a bit skeptical in that. I'm not 100% skeptical, but I'm fairly skeptical, and I'm not convinced that necessarily makes sense for the long haul. But it's something fun to ponder. So I don't blame him for bringing it up. It's clearly the case that there are all sorts of communities backing all sorts of different cryptos, and the XRP community undeniably is large. But it's also so large that most people that are XRP holders, I don't think they'd consider themselves even part of a community, though. I mean, you're talking about somewhere in the neighborhood of close to 3.5 million XRP wallets created since the inception of XRP, and there were probably a lot more holders than that, because most people, I don't think anyway, actually set up their own wallets. I think they're just in shared wallets on exchanges, so there's probably even more people than that. I just don't think that most people that are holding any individual crypto really think about it necessarily like that, but it'd be interesting to see some surveys and some data on that, because I don't know for sure, admittedly. But where he is off the mark here is when he stated that XRP has almost tripled since the SEC actions. It hasn't plummeted. Well, I'll tell you this. John Deaton pretty much nailed it on the head. He responded to Mike Novogratz and wrote the following. It plummeted over 60% when the case was filed, wiping some people out because they panic sold or were forced to sell. That's okay if it's because the market itself was the cause, but it's not okay when caused by arbitrary SEC overreach. I agree its recovery shows it's not only tied to Ripple. Yeah, and so that's definitely true. The fact that it's recovered in the face of what's been going on here, that doesn't help to make the SEC's case that Ripple is the common enterprise tying this all together. It flies in the face of that claim, in fact, which is notable. That's actually a big deal. And so if this case is fully adjudicated, I would hope something like that would come up, and I do believe that it would. And then here's a tweet from my fellow XRP community member, and yours as well, Frecky, who wrote the following. However, it would be well over $5 today with non-SEC action and general crypto market cap movement. Let's not play that game. This is where you have a big gap in your post. Yeah, so that's certainly true. So again, he's not acknowledging that there was a massive crash after this happened. Yes, it did plummet. It's just recovered since then. And it's also true, I believe, that the price of XRP is suppressed, and I'm certainly not the only one that thinks that. In fact, Ripple's attorneys, they do too, which means that the people at Ripple, they do too. Here is part of a legal filing from Ripple, and I made a whole video about this, so that's not the purpose of me bringing this up, but it had to do with Ripple, fighting the SEC, saying, no, absolutely, Judge, this case should not be extended. Because, you hopefully you have heard the story at this point, but the SEC is pushing for an extension of the case, which would push this back another couple months, which means the case might not end until May of 2022 if this happens. So, worst case scenario. So we'll see. But they were talking, like, here's another reason, here's a couple of the reasons that you shouldn't allow this judge, and Ripple is saying, well, first of all, it's unfairly prejudicial against Ripple the company and their business efforts, but it's also unfair to XRP holders because it's damaging global XRP markets. And here's part of what they wrote. This is from Ripple's legal team here. They wrote, indeed, although the price of XRP has risen in the last year along with the broader digital currency market, its performance has lagged behind the market, including currencies like Bitcoin and Ether. Now, that is true. So although it is moving in tandem with the market and it has recovered a bit, for sure, undeniably true, it's lower than it otherwise would be. It would be higher in terms of market cap today in all likelihood if not for the SEC, and it probably would have hit its all-time high by now. That would be my guess. It probably would have by this point in time. But now it currently has not. Doesn't mean that it won't in the future, but still, this is just the reality that we live in, and Mike Novogratz seems to, seems to not be acknowledging that. Here's a tweet from Leonidas, XRP community member who runs xrparcade.com, and he wrote the following to Mike Novogratz. Don't only compare the current price of XRP to its price at the time the lawsuit was filed. Compare its price growth to the growth of other digital assets. The SEC lawsuit has obviously prevented XRP from appreciating in value along with the rest of the market. Yeah, so it's not that it's entirely prevented it, but it does seem suppressed, right? That's my take on it. And so you guys will have to let me know what you think, but this is where I'm coming from now. So yeah, that's why, like, on the surface, if you don't really think about it, maybe the tweet sounds nice, but it's just, there are a couple things wrong which are corrected right there. And again, he just doesn't seem to recognize the utility of XRP, and he's looking down upon us as if we're just not getting it. We're in denial. It's a coin that obviously, from his perspective, it's pretty damn clear, doesn't really deserve to be here, shouldn't be here. That's what he seems to think. It's pretty clear. I think that's fair to say, right? Even if he's not wording it like that, how am I supposed to take it any differently? Comparing us to what he perceives as a negative, being a supporter of Trump, it is. I'm not going to comment on that, but it is what it is. So anyway, I just want to say my piece on that and set the record straight. XRP holders absolutely were harmed. I'm happy for those that have come out on better on the other side of this, having held through all of this. But I'm not happy for everybody else that was holding XRP and panic sold at a loss, and understandably so. It was look, as much as I kind of joke about how it's silly to panic sell when news hits, if ever there was a time to panic, that was it, right? Like, seriously. I mean, I was certainly concerned about it. I've been vocal about that. I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm a United States citizen, and I'm like, am I going to lose access to exchanges where I could potentially sell this? Am I just going to be stuck with this forever? Like, what's going to happen? Well, I didn't know. But I certainly, I mean, I refused to let emotion control whether or not I was going to buy or sell or hold. Like, so I wasn't going to do that. But that wasn't fun for me. That it wasn't fun for anybody. So at least we got a few exchanges where we can still buy and sell it. But man, still optimistic for the future. Let me know what you think below. I'd love to hear some additional perspective on this, but I'm done. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say are right. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.